We all know that India has become the diabetes capital of the world. We all know that children in India are developing type 2 diabetes. A lot of this we know has got to do with our lifestyles and with the food that we eat. There is enough research. The new research, in fact, points towards the direction of children being fed sugar, being introduced to sugar very early in their lives. This research talks about the fact that the first 1,000 days of a child's life, right from the moment of conception, right from the time the baby is in the mother's womb, is extremely important, and that sugar, if not introduced in the first 1,000 days of the child's life, will actually go a long way in preventing diabetes in the later stages of life. Take a look at this detailed report. From the time the baby is in the tummy till the time the baby is out and ready to consume all of this processed baby food, and once the baby is ready, give him or her is sugar drinks, essentially, that you mix with milk, or these fruit juices laden with sugar, empty sugar, all of these candies, when the baby is ready to consume these food items. And then we wonder why India has become the diabetes capital of the world. What's beautiful is that a new research now indicates that you can cut down the risk of diabetes in your child's life, in the later stages of your child's life, by rationing all of this, by removing all of this from their lives. Essentially, the process starts when the baby is first conceived in the mother's womb, which means the pregnant woman's role becomes extremely important here. Not consuming processed sugar in these forms is extremely important. The first 1,000 days of the baby's life from the moment of conception is important. Important not to give sugar in the first 1,000 days of their life. You help their situation. You help prevent diabetes for your kids even just as they are conceived. That is the research. The study showed limiting the intake of sugar in early life cut the risk of developing type 2 diabetes by 35% and high blood pressure by 20%.
The mother's intake of sugar is less, and we restrict the sugar, or rather do not give any extra added free sugars till 2 years of life. There will be a tremendous reduction in the risk of diabetes and hypertension. Plus, they also found that even in those who actually develop diabetes, the onset of the disease was about 4 years later on an average compared to those who were exposed to higher sugar intake in the mother during pregnancy.
The greatest health improvements were seen when sugar rationing covered both the period in the womb and when the baby was weaned onto solid foods. But is it that simple, with ready-to-eat processed baby foods dominating the market?
Formulas, specifically the foods that we buy from the market, the cereals, the baby foods, that would be dry foods, prepared foods, whatever they may be. So there was a survey done on 114 products which are available in the Indian market about 2-3 years ago. And what they found was that about only 30% of these products met the recommendation for sugar in young children. About 50% of them actually did not have labels on them, which is not right. They did not talk about the added sugar in these formulas. My advice to the parents, like I mentioned, would be look at labels. Even as they grow older, you should always read labels on the food that you're giving your child, because marketing gimmicks can mislead the parents very often.
I know a lot of people talk about this, that it's easier to say don't give sugar and all of that, given that your baby foods have sugar as well. Well, the idea here, experts have been saying, is moderation. So if you want to give baby food which is processed like this, if that's a compulsion, instead of giving it 3 times a day or 4 times a day, give it once a day or maybe once in 2 days. Isn't that wonderful? Moderation is always the key. While saying no to everything sugar is obviously not possible, but cutting down on portions and moderation is going to help you win that battle.